I've been doing shop stuff. I've been doing truck stuff, SUV stuff, motorcycle stuff, wood stuff, house stuff, everything stuff. You know what I haven't been doing? Starion stuff. And you know what? On this episode, it's turbo time, baby. Starion, let's get started. Starion stuff. This episode. Let's go. Down the drain, but thank God we got a big old brain, big brain, gosh, crazy and stupid, bad brain, gosh. Woo! Shop is mostly done. So it's time to start digging into some projects. I'm going to start here. Star Pony. Now, this motor is going to be Red Dragon. The backstory on this, the previous owner had some shaft play in the turbo, pulled the motor, was going to replace it, go with something bigger, never got around to it. So today on this episode, we are going to tear this thing apart, get a good look at it, see what needs to be done, and then hopefully get it ready. Slam dunk that mother in there. Let's go. Okay, here it is. Soon to be the Red Dragon. We're going to do a little rattle can refresh on it, but first we got to see what else we got going on here. You can see it has been sitting around for a while. The previous owner had a little bit of shaft play in here. He said that was starting to leak oil. Might be able to hear that. It's definitely moving, so we're definitely going to need to replace a turbo. I've got a whole bunch of them. Hopefully one of them works. So we got to replace that. But I did want to take a look over at everything, see if there's anything else we need to take care of while we're here. So if you had a project car before, or you have one now, and you've got your parts from this guy, got it off of Facebook, from that guy, from Craigslist, from an enthusiast group, so on and so forth, swap meets, you'll kind of have a mix and match of parts, right? And then you got to bring it all together. So the first thing I was worried about here was looking at the oil cooler lines, looking at a power steering cut line. Those are going to be big issues if I need to replace those. And so going over here, and it looks like we're lucky here. We've got the pump already here. Looks like the line is intact. And then it looks like we've got the oil cooler lines intact. That's great. Great start. Of course, when you've got an old motor, something that's been sitting for a long time, you've got old rubber. And so there's definitely some crusty, nasty rubber that needs to go. Looks like I've got like a thermo valve here with a broken nipple. So might have to source one, go through the spare parts bin to see if we can find one. One thing I'm seeing here that's kind of an issue, as you can see here where the coolant line came off, you can see there's a little bit of corrosion pitting there. This is a pretty solid piece. Like, I think I'd be okay. But you start looking here at some of these other pieces, like that has gotten bent in. It's so thin now. And so I might see if I can find a whole nother unit, or I might need to order that. This is the time now. I want to get all that stuff ordered and replaced on here before it goes back in the car, and it's a pain in the ass to get to. Here were the main and secondary injectors were down in here. Before I started the camera, had a big issue. Could not move any of these screws. They were locked down tight. Kind of left me with a lot of options. I went with good old-fashioned flame power. Nothing like a good torch. Can't resist if it's liquid. I didn't get that far, but got it loose enough to where we could get those off. So clean up here all of the intake side. You can see it's a little crusty. This line is the same on the Montero, and it pisses me off because it's a coolant line, but it's a quick snake that goes back in there. And so the problem is that you got to find something that will allow you to get that full passage, if you can see that kink there. So I got to find something out for that. May look at some new silicone hoses there to get that going. Again, more corrosion here on some of these parts. Kind of makes you want to look inside. here on this coolant piping. This one goes to the heater core. That one also having some corrosion issues too. So we're going to have to look this over really good and see what else we can find. Ugh. First bit of bad news. There is a cracked exhaust manifold. You can see it over there on the left side of your screen. Try to point down there. There's a crack right under my finger. They're known for this, the way they're cast. Some of the stuff left on the casting. I believe I've got a couple of spares up in the parts department, so I'll go up there, grab one. I can show you a close-up of what you can do to prevent this. But it's got to come off. We'll swap it out. Something I'd love to check if I could is all the seals, rear main seal, rear cam seal. These are a couple places they like to leak, and so I will probably be replacing those while they're out of the car. You know, at this point, might even just take off the AC bracket. Got some new engine mounts. Man, if you're just pulling out an engine, put one in. If you haven't replaced them, just get them. Just buy them. Don't even put that engine back in without replacing the engine mounts. You already got it out, and it would be awful if you had to pull that motor again just to get it out. So I think that is going to be our plan of attack. We're going to go ahead and get a couple things off here and get this thing cleaned up and a little rattle can restoration, baby. All right, let's get to work. All right, well, let's get after it. Everybody needs a cart. I just got a cart. Everybody needs one. All right, 10, 12, 14. 10, 12, 14. Yeah. Grab a little power. Oh, yeah. What are them big honkers? 22, 24. I bet they're 24. There we go. 24. Okay, what's to do first? What's going to be the worst to get off? Probably these things, these 24s. Oof. All right. Yeah, they're on there. They're on there real good. Oh, okay, that one broke. All right. Let's try this one again. I got a hernia. Come on, you mother. Okay. Now, would most folks throw these away since of the old snip? Yes, probably. Not me. We got washers, banjo bolt. Want to make sure everything gets installed properly when this goes in with the car's tubing, piping. So probably hold on to those. What's next? Turbo! I've never actually had a turbo. Unless you count the Prius, I've never even had like a performance car. It's always been trucks and SUVs for me, which is why I'm so excited with the Starion, because like the rear wheel drive part of it is just so cool. Obviously you can small block 1JZ, do all that stuff, but man, I'm just super excited for this. Turbo! Nope. Where does all this go? Am I going to remember? No, I'm going to be watching this video with you to try and remember how the heck all this stuff goes back on. Looks like Our good friends 12 or 14. 14! See, when you get this rubber that's been on there a long time, you can see here, looks like you got a pressure line, return line, something. That rubber doesn't want to move. You got to break that seal if you can. So you can twist it before you pull it. It's like the old Bop It game. Twist it. Hope the neighbors can't see me right now. Pull it. There we go. It comes off a lot smoother. All right. The turbo is lit off. Oh yeah. It's wobbling around in here. I'll get you some close-ups, but a lot of movement in that sucker. Now it's off. I'm going to show you this. Wobbling around. Yeah. Time to go. Say a little prayer with me, viewer. Pray no broken manifold studs. Woo! One stud came with, but none were broken. That's a pretty serious crack. I'll get you some close-ups, but it goes all the way around. All the way around. Look at this sucker. Good night. That sucker's cracked. Sheesh, there's even a hole there. Good night. Good God. All the way up. Who knows what would happen if you kept running this sucker. Good God. These are the kind of things where I wish I had a blasting cabinet here. But this one probably needs a dunk and a degreaser. Looks like it's marked 180. We'll have to do some research. Had to take off the 12 to get to the 14 to get to the 19. Absolute clown show over here right now. Anyways, a lot of corrosion on that. It's still solid. I wouldn't throw it away. But at the very least, it needs cleaned up. But we're probably going to replace it if we can find a part. And then we might clean this up, spray a little oil on it, and then throw it in a box where I'll never look at it again. The reason why did I take it off? Because I actually have leverage. You could see that would have been a fight if I was just like holding the manifold and it's not gonna fit in the vise. So I'm trying to think ahead for once and find all the little devils in here and just take them off right now. We shall see. Okay, prayer time again. I pray that none of these bolts are snappy. Okay. Intake is off. Let's take a look inside. Looks like quite a bit of carbon in there. Not to be unexpected, but not too bad. I say we just pop the top while we're at it. Take a look at the top of the valve train. Okay, let's take a good look at this head here. All right. Looks like ARP studs. Non-jet valve. Looks really clean. Good. Good. We needed some good news today. I think this is the good news. Looks like the head's in good shape. Sweet. Sweet. Looks good. Let's finish cleaning this baby up. All right. There you have it. Future Red Dragon teardown there. Pretty excited to where I got tonight. Got everything stripped off both sides, just about in a place where I want it. Laid down a little degreaser on there to clean it up, start that paint prep. Lessons learned tonight. I got excited. Your boy sees a project. I'm all over that thing, right? Like that dog howling at the tree. That's me. Finally digging into the Starion after sitting here and staring at it every time I come through the door. Now we're finally working on it, and I'm so excited. Anyways, stuff like this when you're balling on a budget, like the exhaust manifold nuts, like your thermostat housing, all that kind of like little odds and ends. You're like, I'll remember it. I have 5 vehicles and 3 motorcycles. I'm definitely not remembering that. So I think in the future, going to bring out some Ziploc bags, mark those before I get started, and then just drop them in, drop them in, drop them in. And so even if I'm not going to totally reuse every little bit, at least I know where everything is. Everything's labeled. And then if I need to go to the parts store and it's like, I need new intake manifold nuts. What size are they? Boop, here's the bag. So that's one thing I'm going to do differently. Also, your boy got excited. Want to see some hot red on this mother. Well, I hit the sucker with a little engine degreaser just to kind of break up the big clumpy lumpy. Did not look about what's behind it. And just was like, anyways, sprayed everywhere. So I need to slow down. I'm just very excited to make some sort of forward progress on Star Pony. So that's all I got this time. Tune in next time, and we're going to have more Starion stuff, maybe a little Montero stuff. We're checking in on Casey. Looking forward to seeing you on the next episode of Big Brain Garage. Woo! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now, I know I just sent this off, but we're not done yet. We decided to include how we made the dragon, the red dragon, starting right now. All right, dude. I got the red dragon stripped down, and I'm about ready to paint. So I have, first of all, hit it with a degreaser, scraped all the big stuff off, got in there with a pick, cleaned everything out, and then I went in it with some degreaser rags, got it nice and dry. I think we're in pretty good shape. I think we're about ready to paint. What do you think?
Yep, we'll just do some masking off, and we don't want to get paint on the gasket surfaces. We want that nice tight seal. Some people leave it painted for a better seal. I've always just a nice clean metal finish on gaskets, never had an issue. So we'll do some masking. And
as somebody who never throws anything away, I saved the gaskets for paint.
And those work perfectly.
Sweet.
You can use masking tape if it sticks good enough. Aluminum foil for some of these odd things that protrude that we don't want paint. Aluminum foil is great.
Definitely.
You just wrap it around it and it will stay there.
Sweet. Any other painting tips? We're going to rattle bomb here. You know, it's a rattle can restoration. But do you have any tips on that?
Depending on the type of the paint, start down low or somewhere you're not going to see. See how it paints. It could flash off very quickly and dry very quickly, or it could run. And no one wants sags in their paint, especially in high visible areas.
So maybe we'll start back here with our paint in the back of the motor. Nobody's going to see it except for us. Maybe start back here and then work our way forward. Okay.
Perfect spot.
Sweet. All right, let's get to it.
Yep, start wrapping. Gaskets will take.
Not that wrapping, apparently.
Didn't even know what you were doing. Oh. So it's cool. You built this big giant paint booth for us. This is fancy. You went all out.
Yeah, if you don't open up the window too, you're gonna get to go take a trip to the galaxy.
Yeah, I'm down for that ride.
Should we trim that one up at all? I got scissors, or if you want a knife.
I mean, how high does the end take? If you got scissors, yeah, we can just cut this flange off.
Okay.
That way we'll just get a good coverage.
Yeah.
You got scissors?
Yeah, they're usually hanging up there.
We'll find it.
They're not currently hanging up there.
That's like a shop rule. You organize the shop, but you never put it back in the same spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you can find every single tool right away in your shop, is it really a shop? So, red dragon. I can only assume we're painting it red.
Actually, we're gonna go with fuchsia.
Fuchsia.
A nice salmon color, you know. I'm big on salmon. Okay, be sure to wear your PPE.
Safety first.
Glasses, mask.
Approved.
Woo!
Dang, dude.
That is sharp.
This thing came out awesome.
The color is gorgeous. If you get the light on it, it really sparkles. It's amazing.
It's the metal flake paint, right?
Yeah, Duplicolor metal cast. I assure you, we are not getting a cent for this video, but this was the red anodized, and it pops. It's crazy.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, this thing in the sunlight, it just shimmers, it sparkles. It's honestly maybe the best spray paint job I think I've done.
Oh, it came out great. Just a couple hours of elbow grease, degreasing, getting the grime off the engine, and a couple coats of paint later. I mean, look at this thing. This is like it is a brand new engine.
Looks like one. Yeah, you're gonna definitely spend some time degreasing it. But gosh, it is
using
gorgeous.
the old gaskets to cover up the gasket surface worked like a charm.
Yep, and then we said aluminum foil. You saw that, we wrapped that on, and then just towels in there. And so you probably could do it all in one day. We had some other stuff going on, but yeah,
easily one day.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, let's get to work on putting her back in.
Heck yeah, buddy. Recording. We're gonna paint. Paint Red Dragon.